All right, folks, welcome to another Bragging Rights weekly hobby update. So, what have I been up to this week? Not all that much, honestly. Didn't make as much progress as I have in past weeks. That's down to two reasons. One, attended a grand tournament this past weekend for Kings of War, and I will be spotlighting the army that I played that tournament with later on in the month. Talking a little about Kings of War in general too as I do that spotlight. And two, I ended up getting sick. It's just kind of a normal course now. Go to a tournament, get sick. Lack of exposure the rest of the time, I think. All right, let me start with some things that I did that are miniatures from the company Relic Miniatures. Relic, I've covered on the show in the past. They are, and they're all over the place back here. They're a company that specializes in the Hellenistic age. That's my sweet spot. That's where I do almost all of my collecting of ancient miniatures. All right, so I'm going to start with one that is, actually I'll start with this one. This is a unit. Four of these are Relic Miniatures. This guy and this guy are not Relic. Those are Warlord. The rest are Relic Miniatures. All of the shields are Relic. I just recently, for the first time in the past month or so, started using, I'm not going to call them waterside because I didn't use much water, but waterside, well, I will call them waterside transfers. And I went over in a quick video my process for doing that, which was based on watching some YouTube videos and getting some instruction from Mike, the owner and CEO of Relic. These shields, I love these designs. Just really love them. This was a unit I previously had painted, and they had some, I don't have an example here, but they had some pretty garbage shield designs on them that I had done with a micro pen. They suited my purposes at the time, but I like these designs a lot better. And I'm going to be featuring more Relic miniatures and shield designs in the future, so stay tuned for that. I actually did 2 units, and I think this other unit might have even come out a little better. These ones are not Relic miniatures, these are Warlord, but of course the shields are all Relic. I'm going to be re-shielding a few of my units and then also painting up new Relic stuff on top of that, and man, I love this. These are Thracian, think of them as Thracian Thorophorai with Rumpia and Javelin. Really cool unit to have in the Hellenistic age, and man, these shields do them justice. And you notice there's some variation on the shield. Some of them have 2 jabs, 1 jab, Rumpia and jab, and just plain Rumpia. Really cool options. Okay, it's been a long time. I said really cool like 30 times. That's okay. Let's move on to another unit. It's partially Relic. I'm going to count it as Relic. This is a unit of Aventine Indian elephants without Hudas and I'm pronouncing that wrong. The riders are Relic, which I've shown off in the past. The guys on the back, though, those are the Aventine original minis that I think compared with these elephants. I got these elephants out for a tournament in September, and I blasted them out as quick as I can, or quick as I could. I went without riders and just put them in as elephants. I've since added mahouts that are all kind of a Western style, and now I've added Western style riders on the back as well. These are going to be fielded into the strongest as elephant screens. And into the strongest, the way an elephant screen works is it's a light troop. So it's going to be able to share the box with other stuff. So I tend to field them sideways, like this, in the front with a unit behind them. And, you know, living up to their name is elephant screen. So having those riders on the back was a nice little add. And I'm really happy to have this unit truly done now. Aventine make pretty amazing elephants in general. Sadly, there's none for sale right now. I don't know exactly why. Quick thing I did Grey Wind. I magnetized like I've been doing for the rest of my Game of Thrones stuff. I'm just whittling away at my Stark forces. I'd like to get a standard kind of 40 or 50 point army ready to go. It'll be done when it's done. I'll do it a couple minis at a time. So this is adding to those forces. I painted this bad boy. He's from Northstar's, I believe it's called Gods and Mortals range. It's a game I don't play. I have the book, but I have a lot of the miniatures from it. The minis are really cool. Who knows if the game is good? Be interesting to hear if anybody's played it. This guy's got a little tail. I love that. This is a Celtic god. I want to say his name. Oops, Cernunnos. Yeah, Northstar is the only thing written there. I am going to use him in my Celtic army as like kind of a monster type thing. And on his base, looking up at him, is going to be, I have a druid model who's looking up and has his hands outstretched. So I'm gonna have that druid like standing in front of him, hands outstretched and holding up like a still beating heart. And then there's gonna be a goat down here that's had its like entrails pulled out. So it's gonna be like a sacrifice to this god. I think it'll be pretty cool. I'm gonna do my imagination, we'll see how it comes out. This guy was really fun to paint. He's metal. I wasn't in love with the quality of the cast. The head, it turns out, was not a great cast, and I shaved off the beard because honestly, the detail wasn't good. I thought it was just a casting error. Also, it's hard to get the ankles to stick to the hooves. So I'm trying to make up for that by having him looking down at somebody, but this model isn't supposed to be looking down at quite that angle. So didn't love the cast, do love the model. I'm gonna love the little diorama once I finish it. That's probably gonna be in a couple more weeks because I have to do that druid model and the sacrificial victim. The last thing that I painted this week, and actually before I talk about that, let me talk about something I didn't paint. This is a project I have. I am hosting, well, somebody else is hosting, but I'm game mastering a Penobscot expedition game of tomahawks and muskets. And so for that, I need and that's a Revolutionary War campaign, set of battles. And you know, if you've ever read Bernard Cornwell's The Fort, that's what I'm running. As part of that, I needed a Fort George. So I looked at a lot of things I could buy, and it's like, you know what? I should just make something. Like, that's my whole mantra this year is use things I already have, do things on the cheap. So I took wood that I bought for a Frostgrave project many years ago, and I said, okay, what can I do with this? Oh, I can build a wilderness fort. And this is the prototype for one of those walls. I like how it comes out. I'm going to prime it and dry brush it later in the week. And finally, Regiment of Light Troops to go with that battle. I forget, I think this is either the 72nd or the 34th. The blue is supposed to be a little darker, but I do like the colors to stand out, so I went with a brighter blue. And otherwise just did normal style army painter speed paints on all of this. And that's it. That's all I accomplished for the week. This is all during lunch breaks and stuff like that. Hopefully next week will be a little more productive, but we'll see. You know, life gets in the way sometimes. All right. Well, thanks for the quick video, and I will talk to you all soon.